Ohaj. Zadar, the city in Croatia, one of the most important historic centers of Dalmatia, department of the Zadar Archdiocese. There is in the central part of the coast of Adriatic Sea, a center of a Shupania Zadar. The population -71471 persons. 2011. The city is located on coast of the Adriatic coast, which is densely cut up by bays. The old city of Zadar, having big cultural historical value, is in borders of the Roman city. The population of the city is employed in tourist service, trade, the food industry, fishery and fish processing, mechanical engineering, shipbuilding. The Zadar University was founded in 1396 and is one of the oldest in Croatia. In close proximity to the city, 3 national parks, Kornata, Paklenica and Northern Velebit, are located. History. From 9th century BB there was a settlement of Illyriates which was called Zadar here. In the 1st century BB the city was won by Romans. In the 5th century, after disintegration of the Western Roman Empire, the city was regularly exposed to attacks of various conquerors. In the 7th century here, as well as on all Dalmatian coast, Slavs came, and the city got to the same period under the power of the Byzantine Empire and became the capital of the Byzantine province of Dalmatia. At the beginning of the 9th century the city was won by Franks, however in 812 it departed Byzantium again. Zadar was the place of stay of the strategist, the proconsul of Byzantium. After the non-durable power of the Venetian Republic in 1024 Byzantium returned the city again. In 1069 the king of Croatia Petar Krešimir IV managed to realize the old purpose of the Croatian kingdom, for which it unsuccessfully fought many years. Petar Krešimir signed the contract with Byzantium, according to which the coast of Adriatic Sea with important seaports, including Zadar, passed under the power of Croatia. From now on almost exclusively Romans population of Zadar begins to be diluted with Croats who from neighboring Slavic settlements gradually moved to Zadar. In 1105 Zadar under the Trajersky Agreement recognized the power of the Hungarian-Croatian king on the terms of very wide autonomy. After that the city was involved in continuous wars between the kingdom and the Venetian Republic, therefore repeatedly it passed from hand to hand. For the Venetian tradeways in Adriatic Sea Zadar was key point, therefore Venice fought for the city fiercely. The population of the city was on side of the kingdom, which provided to Zadarchan a significantly big autonomy than Venice. In the middle of the 12th century Venetians subordinate Zadar, 2 revolts of citizens against them. In 1164 and 1168. Supported by army of the Hungarian-Croatian king Istvan III are finally suppressed by Venice in 1170. However in 10 years Zadar excites a new rebellion and recognizes as the governor Bala III. This revolt was more successful. In 1190 the Zadar fleet even broke Venetians in sea battle. In 1202 the Venetian Doge Enrico Dandolo managed to direct to Zadar the Crusaders who ran into debt to him, participants of the Fourth Crusade. The siege of the city was fierce. Eventually, Zadar was stormed and completely plundered. The Father Innocenti III excommunicated all participants of plunder of Christian Zadar. In 1205 the restored Zadar signed the contract with Venice on the terms of autonomy, and in 1216 the King Andres II renounced claims of the Hungarian-Croatian kingdom to Zadar. But it was only the pause in centuries-old fight. That the spirit of citizens isn't broken, they proved in 1242, having excited a new rebellion. After his suppression, Venetians established tough laws in the city. The settlement of Croats in the city, marriages with Croats was forbidden, and all to the Zadarchina had to visit Venice where they repented. Measures didn't help. In 1311 the new anti-Venice mutiny suppressed in 1313 follows. Opposition of Hungary and Venice on Adriatic Sea entered a new phase in the middle of the 14th century when Saint Istvan's crown was received by vigorous and talented Louis the Great. During war, Ludovic with assistance of citizens managed to win all key Dalmatian cities, including Zadar. And then after direct approach of his army to the north of Italy, Venice was forced to sign the Heavy Zadar World. 1358. On which I lost all Dalmatia. The power of the kingdom of Ludovica ended, however, together with his death. Internal wars between applicants for a crown quickly undermined his force. In 1409 one of applicants, Vladislav, sold all Dalmatia of Venice for card ducats. The next 400 years Zadar and the other Dalmatian cities were its part. The strong statement of Venice in Zadar, on the one hand, brought long-awaited stability in the world, on the other hand, promoted falling of trade value of the city as Venice regarded Zadar as the transit point in the East trade and rigidly stopped any attempts of independent business management. Several times for these centuries Zadar was devastated by epidemics of the plague brought by the trade ships from the east. Since the 16th century, rivalry on Adriatic Sea between Venice and the Ottoman Empire began. Zadar played a role of the key fortification center of Venetians in this connection in the city. Numerous defensive works were built in these wars. In 1797, after falling of the Venetian Republic, Zadar, as well as all Dalmatia, it was attached to Austria. After short French dominion in 1813, he passed under the power of the Austrian crown again. During Napoleonic board in Zadar, the first newspaper in Croatian was published. In the second half of the 19th century, Zadar was the center of the Croatian cultural and national revival. During World War I, Zadar was occupied by Italy, and after war became her part together with Istria and the islands of Crescent, Loshin and Lastova, while other Dalmatia was a part of the kingdom of Serbians, of Croats and Slovenes. Is later than the kingdom Yugoslavia. During war in 1943-1944, Zadar 72 times massed bombed the English and American planes, therefore the city was almost completely destroyed from air. After World War II, Zadar as a part of Croatia became a part of SFRU that caused a Massachusetts outcome of the Italian population from the city. After declaration of independence of Croatia in 1991, Zadar was subjected to bombings, the Serbian army this time again. The city siege, during which all overland communications of Zadar with other Croatia were cut off, proceeded till January 1993, when all city and its vicinities passed under control of the Croatian army. Separate attacks on the city continued up to 1995, that is until the end of the war in Croatia. Zadar is on border damp subtropical and Mediterranean climate. Average temperature is about 8 C and in the summer about 23 C in the winter. Transport. Zadar is connected by regular bus traffic to all largest cities of Croatia, the cities of Bosnia and Herzegovina and some European capitals. The city is connected by national sea ferry lines with the coastal cities, with islands of the Zadar archipelago, and also the international ferry line with the Italian city of Ancona. The population of the city in 2011 made 71471 persons. The central event of cultural life of Zadar, the international musical festival Musicales in St. Donat's Cathedral. Since 1960. Sites: City Gate, a construction in the form of an ancient Roman triumphal arch. Constructed in 1543 by the Veronese architect Michele Samichelli. On gate in style of the Renaissance, the Venetian winged lion and the city coat of arms of Zadar are represented. The Roman Forum. Among ruins of the Roman Forum, the 14-meter column, the remains of a triumphal arch of Trajan, fragments of the bridge street remained. The Archaeological Museum of Zadar, the second in antiquity similar establishment in Dalmatia. The Museum of Antique Glass, the museum with an extensive collection of antique glass and telling about the history of glass production in antiquity and the Middle Ages. St. Donat's Church is constructed in the 9th century in the Byzantine style on the base of the Roman palace. In church, the rich collection of works on metal of medieval Dalmatian masters is collected. St. Anastasius Cathedral is constructed in the 12th century in Roman style. One of 7 Croatian cathedrals with the status a small basilica. Cathedral of the Zadar Archdiocese. St. Anastasius relics are stored in cathedral. Virgin Mary's Church. Romance church was constructed in the 11th century, but from original construction only the bell tower. 1105. Which is the oldest bell tower of Dalmatia remained. In the Benedictine monastery which possesses church, the exhibition of church art is located. The Monastery of Franciscans, the oldest Gothic building of Zadar. It is constructed in the 12th century, reconstructed in 18. Sea body, a design which will transform energy of waves to a sound. Also far. Write comments. Read comments. Interesting people will tell interesting stories. All of good mood and good luck.